The following is an encore presentation of stories from the Dooralong Transformation Centre.
And welcome back to this Wednesday, this rainy Wednesday, according to the weatherman. It's 19 at the moment, heading for a top of 22, but really all those clouds circling. Soccer training could be off this afternoon. I'm not exactly sure. But as always, we've got our Dooralong segment here, transformation stories, transformative stories. We bring to you every Wednesday, and today we've got a bubbly young female in the studio named Maria.
Hi.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. You look like you're just bursting with life.
I just finished my third cup of coffee, so yeah.
That'll do it. Yes, that'll do it. I'm only just halfway through my first, but today there is a second involved. Definitely. Welcome. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Excellent. So, obviously, you're in here from the Dooralong Center.
Yep, that's correct.
Excellent. And we were talking off air, and you've had an addiction to alcohol.
That's right, yep.
Excellent. Okay. Before we get into that, you have two lovely people behind you.
Yeah.
Who are these young individuals here?
Actually, big surprise, my stepmom, Kathy, and my father, Perfidio. They popped in to say hi.
Perfidio.
Perfidio.
A little closer on the mic.
Sorry.
Excellent. Okay. Now, I'm just wondering, do they want to say anything on the air? They look like, no, we're not here to say anything. We're just here to make sure it goes right down the line.
Do you want to say something, Kathy?
Can I talk?
Yes, you can talk. We'd love more the merrier.
We're delighted to be here and see Maria. She looks fantastic, and I'm so proud of her and so happy for her.
There's a problem for you.
She went through in very hard times, and she is getting back to normal.
Amen. And this is not normal, because seriously, you look like there's not a problem in the world. You're just ready to go. Okay. All right. Is it because you have your dad back there for protection? Is that it?
Probably.
He's like, no, I don't want to say anything. It's all good. All right. Okay. So, we got a little communication going on here.
My dad's a bit crying, I think. He doesn't show his emotions often.
Most dads don't.
I think he's very proud.
I can tell. Look on his face. He is a proud dad.
Yeah.
Yes, and they have good reason.
Yeah.
So let's start with your upbringing, because
okay.
It seems like you had a very loving home.
Yeah, I did. My mum and dad, we're originally from Portugal.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Portuguese.
Yes.
So I'm getting familiar with Portuguese. My wife runs a magazine that's being translated in Portuguese at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Brazilian translation.
Yeah.
Brazilian Portuguese. Sorry. Little side note there. Okay, sorry. Back to you.
That's all right. So we were. I've got two younger sisters, and we lived in Portugal for a period of time. My younger sister Sandra and I come to Australia when we were about 3 or 4. We lived here for about seven years, Dad. Yeah. And then there was a family tragedy when my grandfather died. So we packed up and left Australia and went back to Portugal and lived there for about 5 years.
Oh, he died in Portugal.
My grandfather did.
Okay, right,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
So my mum's the only child, so we had to go back over there because my grandmother needed support. So we went there and lived there for a period of time, and then my dad had work here in Australia, so we ended up coming back to Australia.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you came back to Australia?
About 12, I think.
12.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Educated here? High school?
I went to Belmont High, yeah.
Newcastle, that's right. You are a Newcastle gal, yeah.
Yep.
Same here. Go Knights.
Go Knights.
Maybe. Depends. Anyway, we won't go there. So, okay, so high school. So, what was your first introduction to alcohol?
I didn't start drinking until I was in my mid-20s, actually.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I had, when I was about 18, 19, I actually experimented with marijuana, pot, and I was addicted to that for a period of time. Sorry, and I had actually my first panic attack on that. So I actually swapped that for alcohol. So
right.
yeah, which was because I had suffered from anxiety, so alcohol actually helped me. I thought it would help me just to subside my anxiety.
Yeah.
And then it just started spiraling out of it.
It does provide a false sense of confidence.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Not hard to get, not hard to be introduced to alcohol, be around it in Newcastle. It's
everywhere.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I've 20 years in Newcastle. Well, probably 24, and it's, my first introduction to that kind of drinking, other than the college scene, was here. I've never ever seen that amount of alcohol everywhere and after everything.
Yeah. Not
just a sporting event. You could have a knitting group, and after that, down to the pub for a shanty.
That's right.
Wow. Yeah. So okay. So at what age were you when you started to socially drink?
About 25.
25?
Yeah. 25.
How long from there till the addiction took a hold?
Oh, not long. Probably about 2-3 years after that. Yeah.
Right,
I was drinking all the time, but it got really worse towards the end, like in my mid-30s. But yeah.
Right. Okay. And you were working?
Yeah, I was working.
Still living at home?
No. I actually left home when I was 17.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then I just had my own house and that. But I thought I was doing okay, but it was just hard to control at the end.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So at that point, did your parents know? Did anyone know, or were you still a closet alcoholic? Pretty much keeping it on the down low.
To start off with, it was just socially, but then at the end, I was just hiding it all the time.
Okay.
So that was
excellent.
It's hard.
You're in with the Dooralong segment, and we've got the bubbly Maria here. You just seriously, everyone look at you. You're just beaming with life.
Oh, thank you.
Oh man, it's infectious. You need to come work here. It'd be great. You blend right in.
Oh.
Because we're all loony here. But before the break, we were talking about your upbringing. Great family, getting home, left home at 17, had a job working, and introduced to alcohol at what age was it? 25, you said?
Yeah, about 25.
So later on in age, which is really late in age being introduced to alcohol. That's probably in some ways a good thing. But then it gradually took hold, and you found yourself 3 years on into your first drink, addicted to alcohol.
Yep, that's correct.
Is that the picture thus far?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on your own. You're in a home. You're addicted to alcohol. You're working.
At the time, yeah.
Okay, paint the picture of how it started to go downhill from there.
Well, I started getting DUIs. I had like 3 in a short period of time. I lost jobs. Relationships breakdowns between my family. But I was still in denial at that time. I thought I didn't have a problem. I thought I was just okay. That's just society. So it took a lot of years. I thought I hadn't hit rock bottom at that time, so I just continued on drinking and carried on with life. So it was just unfortunate circumstances.
So your parents are here today.
Yep.
Dad's beaming with pride.
Yep.
Mom's just loving on you. When could you see when they were hurt?
I'm not 100% sure, because when you're in addiction, you only think about yourself and not about how you're affecting other people. I was just really worried about myself and when I could get my next drink and I thought, they'll be right. They're my family. They'll forgive me for what I've done, and I just continued drinking.
So that addiction really, really kicked in to the point where it's just all about me, myself, and
That's right.
Everybody else is secondary.
Yep.
Right. So, Mom, you're in here. Let's get you on the mic. When did you first notice that there was a problem?
I am her stepmother. Not like...
Right, so you weren't here when that was going to during that period of time?
I know her when she was roughly 25. When I get together with my husband. For me, because I'm not drinking at all, and in my family, the drinking was not an issue.
Yeah.
Sometimes I saw Maria having a bottle of wine.
To herself?
Yes.
Okay.
And I thought, but I was so new in the family, I didn't want it to interfere.
Yes, yeah.
I thought it's my husband's job, but he was so happy to see her, and he didn't want it to have any problem between them, so he didn't stood up.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Queensland, and we didn't have very much contact with the family. And once she was coming to the Gold Coast, at the time she had her baby with the boyfriend. And she promised to come to see us in a Portuguese club in Brisbane. And she didn't come. And when we talked to her, we knew she was drinking. And the next day she rang me and she said, the boyfriend took off with the baby. I don't know where is he, where is the baby. And because I had a few drinks, then we thought, that's
There
trouble.
it is. Okay. All right. And what age were you at that point, Maria?
I had my first baby, Riley. He's 8 now, so I was 33.
33. And the boy, I like that, the boyfriend. They all have that same name, the boyfriend. They don't have a real name, it's the boyfriend. So, you know, that's parents got the boyfriend. So, okay, so he took off with the baby, you showed up, you were loaded, and that's the first sign that they knew something was wrong. Okay. How did it make you feel? Or were you still in that numb stage of, I really don't care at the moment?
I had a bit of anxiety and that towards it, but again, I just didn't. It was all his fault, the boyfriend's fault.
Yeah.
He took off with the baby, not me. I don't have a problem, you know. So I was stuck in Brisbane for a couple of days and flew home back to Newcastle without Riley. And all I cared was to get Riley back, but nothing to do with my addiction. I did not want to fix myself.
So no wake-up call yet?
No.
None at all?
No.
Okay, so, all right. When did that come?
Well, when I realised that that the boyfriend, or Shane, his name's Shane, took Riley up to Queensland, and I thought I had lost him. That's when I thought, well, there's something going on here. So I had to fight for him. So I did give up the alcohol at that time for a period of time. I got Riley back in the court from the courts, and I started my apprenticeship as a chef at that time as well. And I thought I had it all good, but I come, like they say, complacent.
Yes.
I was cured, and then I started drinking again after getting Riley back and all that. So
how much time had passed?
9 months.
9 months. That's not bad, actually.
Yeah.
9 months.
Yeah.
So why? I mean, you knew there was a problem, and you saw the effects of it, and sometimes that will scare people off. It'll scare them straight. But then 9 months, okay, complacency stuck in, but why, what, where? Was it a social setting? Were you out with friends? Depression? Something happened? What was the trigger?
Well, like most alcoholics, we just think that we can have one or two and stop at that.
Yeah, but no.
One hurt me. That's what I used to say.
Yes. No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
All right, so you had one, and then from that point on, where'd we go to from there?
Well, it started back again.
Oh, goodness.
So, and then I started working in the pub scene as a chef, as an apprentice chef. Yep. So a lot of, people drink after work
After work, yeah.
So did it all over again, started that cycle again.
And how long before you hit rock bottom?
Well, it just continued on for a couple of years. I thought, I'm right again, and I can handle this. And a number of times where I tried to harm myself and that, and it just, it's just part of life. That's what I was doing, and I was just masking my feelings and suffer from depression and anxiety and that. I did stop again for a period of time, but again for a couple of months, and I started back up again. I can handle it this time. That's what I kept saying to myself all the time.
Okay. So who introduced you to Dooralong?
His name's Brian. He was the court chaplain in Newcastle. I was going to court for my DUIs. And he suggested, and the judge was actually saying, you need to have long-term rehab. And I was just like, no, I can't do that. Can't do it, no. And then I thought, oh, well, I'll just go to jail. It's a lot easier. It's a short amount of time. And Brian's going, no, it will do you some good. You got to think of your future. You got to think of your 2 boys. And I went, okay, I'm going. And so I've been to Dooralong. It was actually, my meeting date was the 24th of November.
November of last year.
No, October.
October.
Sorry,
last year?
October, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. And welcome back to the Dooralong segment here with the lovely Maria. We were just chatting off here with her mom, who so much reminds me of my mom. They don't forget anything. And Mom was filling in the blanks there and doing a very good job at it, too. So let's do a quick recap. When we left, you were telling us about where the problems begin to really get deep with the boyfriend number 1, and with him absconding with child number 1. You coming back to Newcastle and fighting to get Riley back. But then boyfriend 2 came along.
Yes.
And actually, because we didn't talk about it, but fill us in quickly what happened with boyfriend number 2 and child number 2.
Okay. So I met boyfriend number 2 out at a pub. And I thought, well, we got on well, hit it off pretty well, but it was just alcohol. That's all we had in common. And we were together. We were toxic, very toxic. But I thought, oh, he loves me, and he was my drinking partner, and we ended up having a child together. His name's Brody. He's 3, and he's lovely. But we just hung in there together and thought, oh, this was going to work, but it was just too toxic. He was my enabler too. Like, if I wanted a drink, he would enable me to drink. So, it was just very, very... the whole family could see it. Everyone could see it, but I couldn't see it. Because I was just so addicted to the alcohol. I had to get up in the morning, have a drink just to be normal. Drinking before work, during work. And it was just a horrible, horrible cycle.
You needed it to maintain.
Yeah, and he was the same as well.
Okay.
So, and coming to Dooralong, that was good because it gave me some space to see that it was just really, really toxic.
So what happened with child number 2?
Well, things got really bad, and docs got involved. So we had to go to court, and I lost custody of my son. And until he's 18, but hopefully I'll get him back. I'm doing this program and stay on the right path. It was just a very depressing time in my life, losing him, and I just kept drinking. I thought, oh, this will go away if I just keep drinking.
So are you in contact with child number 2? Are you
yeah.
Cool,
I see him every weekend.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Loves his cuddles off his mum.
You know God's into restoration.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yeah,
okay. So at that point, you were in court, and you were introduced to the chaplain, who introduced who brought up Dooralong, and the judge agreed. You fought it, didn't want to go. You just take me to jail.
Yeah.
I don't want the retreat and the farm and the food. I want the 9x4, the 6x4 cell.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought concrete was the Italians' things, not the Portuguese things. You're yearning for the concrete prison. I don't understand that one, but that's okay. We'll just blame the alcohol.
That's right.
So now you decided to go. And your induction was October of last year?
That's right. Yep.
Okay. What did you think going in? Did you know it was Christian? Were you?
Yep.
You did? Okay. Yep. And had you had any Christianity in your background before that?
Yeah, I did actually. I did 4.5 months last year in another rehab just outside Donegal called Destiny's Haven.
I know Destiny's Haven. Yes.
Yeah, and they're a Christian base.
Yes, they are.
So they introduced me to Christianity then. And Brian told me that Dooralong was a Christian base, so yeah, it was good. I went in there with like what they say, open, willing, and honest. Beautiful. So I was open and willing to learn and just to get myself better. Okay,
so your first 2 weeks, walk us through.
Walk us through. It was good. I went in there and I thought, no, I'm going to do this, and I put myself into it. So I had detox before that at Lakeview, so I was still a bit, not 100%.
So edgy?
Yeah. So I put myself into the program, and that's what I do every day, and wake up and be grateful that I've got a comfortable bed there and great food and great people there. But the first 2 weeks, it is a bit full on at first for some people, because you got your program, you've got to attend, like you got to be at roll call a certain time and that. But it's just manageability. That's all it comes down to.
Plus, Riley and Brody would have been motivation.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, definitely. Excellent. So you said you see him every weekend. He come to you, you go to them.
Yeah, I go up and see, because once you move up, the further along you move up, you're allowed to have day leave on a Saturday, and then every second weekend you get weekend leave. So I get to see them every weekend. Go up to Newcastle. Or they initially they used to come down to Dooralong and then play putt or archery, and it's always something happening there, which is good. They're always about families, and they encourage you to have your family there.
Yeah, good support network.
That's right.
With these two next to you. Good support network. So you're halfway through your program.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the second half for you? Where are you heading towards? Because I know you do your second half. Then you have your exiting program as well.
That's right, re-entry.
Yeah, re-entry. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Well, I'm in halfway through level 2. So I'm doing like things called recovery enhancement groups. So we have that every day, and it's like electives where you can pick and choose what's good for you. So I've done depression and anxiety. I'm studying Rick Warren at the moment. Relapse prevention, I've just finished that. So there's always different groups that you can attend in order to, they want you to go out, and fit into society. And eventually I want to go and volunteer at the Oasis Centre at Wyong and work in the kitchen there to give back.
Oh, okay. Yes, because you are a qualified chef.
Yep.
That's right. Excellent. Well, before you leave, you're going to make us a sandwich. I don't know what's in that fridge, but you'll whip something up. So, all right. So you're dealing with the anxiety, and you're also dealing with depression.
That's right.
Okay, yes. So, and you're gaining strides on those?
That's right, yeah. So, when I was drinking, I thought I would had that, or I just had it masked. And now, like they say at Dooralong, your feelings are your friends. So they teach you how to process those feelings. Some days I might have a bit of anxiety, but it's just a matter of they give you the tools in order how to deal with that in a constructive way.
Okay.
Rather than destructive.
So let's talk long term.
Yep.
Future. Where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? What are your goals? What are you aiming at?
Well, I want to give back to society, so I want to volunteer, but I want to eventually, I do want to get my boys back and have just a stable home and just attend meetings. That's another part of my big long-term, because if I don't attend meetings, that's you get complacent and you just forget where where you come from and that. So, and have my family back in my life and just been able to manage my life a lot better. Moving
close to mom and dad? Staying close?
We would be happy. And I have to say that Maria is an excellent worker. When she is working, fantastic. And all my concern is not to go back to the pub kitchens. Pub kitchens or restaurants, and coffee lunch where they don't serve alcohol, perfect for her. But to go back to this, myself, I had a restaurant and a coffee lunch in Sydney. And I saw the people who worked there. After 10, 11 o'clock, when all is done, the first thing they start to drink. All the pressure, all the rush in a restaurant kitchen, I can understand. I don't drink, so I don't have any problem. But for her, the best way, she's an excellent worker. And she's a very good cook and chef. So I hope she will get some good job and build up her life with her children.
We hope so too. And plus, if you live next to near your parents, you can practice cooking for them.
That's right.
That's right, yeah.
I like cooking for my friends and family.
That's perks, see, Mom. I'm helping you out. There you go. So, well, look, we wish you all the best success.
Thank you.
And I have no doubt from the look on your face, you're going to get it.
Thank you.
You seem like you know what's coming.
Okay.
A better future,
Yep.
A better life, and it's already showing and glowing on your face.
Thanks.
I mean, if I didn't know any different, I think you're pregnant right now. The glow on your face is seriously, it's just there. You are absolutely beaming and enjoying life.
Thank you.
You are. So you must come back and bring the boys.
Yep.
You have to come in,
Okay.
and let's see life after Dooralong and see how you're doing and find out what restaurant you at so we can come sample your cooking.
Okay.
Is that a promise?
On that.
Is that a promise?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh,
My guest today on the Dooralong Transformation Program has been Maria, or as your mom would say, Maria.
yes, because my origin is Hungarian.
Yes.
I have the Zsa Gabor
You
accent.
do, Maria. I like it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Look forward to having you back.
Thank you.
You've been listening to an encore presentation of the Dooralong stories, which can be heard live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and repeated 8 p.m. Sunday and 1 a.m. Wednesday, right here on 94.9 rema.cc.